You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Do you make fart noises with your mouth?
Here.
That's a yes.
The War Room. Infowars.com/show.
We're going to tell your children at the age of 5, if they want to chop off their ding-a-ling, they can do so. And it's perfectly normal. Wow! Thank you, InfoWars! Thank you so much to the War Room crew. That's my favorite song. Yeah! This is the kind of music we like to play during Drag Queen Story Time. Woo! Yeah! Bring your kids up to Lefto the Clown. All right. I want to thank InfoWars for giving Lefto the Clown another opportunity to read the news. This is a real honor, folks. This is a real honor. So I got a stack of news here, and we're gonna really give you the truth, folks. Those people at InfoWars are lying to you. So Lefto the Clown is here to straighten it all out for you, all right? Thank you so much for joining in here. Lefto the Clown, hosting the War Room at Infowars.com. All right, kill the music, stop the giraffes from dancing, stop the elephants from humping and crapping and adding to global warming. We gotta get to some news here. All right, let's start off with this one. University of North Texas course teaches students about sexual pleasure for infants. Let me tell you, this is a great start. I'm glad that the University of North Texas is teaching you how to sexually pleasure an infant. But here's the problem. This needs to be taught in kindergarten. You see, you can't just teach the college students how to pleasure an infant sexually. You gotta teach the children. How are you gonna leave this important knowledge? This secret information? How are you going to only teach this to college students? You are discriminating against elementary school children and high school children that want to know how to pleasure an infant. What the hell is wrong with you? But I don't think we should just stop at infants. Hell yeah, you should be sexually pleasuring infants. That's a given. But what Lefto the Clown wants to talk about now is how we should also be teaching our students at the university and in the elementary schools how to pleasure animals too. So let's teach the kids how to pleasure infants, and why not pleasure your own pet while you're at it? Hell, you could even have the pet and an infant together. It'll be like a nice orgy. So we're gonna teach that next at the university, but we're just getting started right now. You start with the pleasuring of the infants, then you start with the pleasuring of the animals, and then you bring it all together. And then you gotta do it live in front of the children during Drag Queen Story Time. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting started. You see, Lefto was right. California is overhauling sex education guidance for schools, and religious conservatives don't like it. Well, what the hell's wrong with them? Listen, religious conservatives, we're gonna teach your kids how to pleasure infants. We're gonna teach your kids about gay sex. We're gonna tell your children at the age of 5, if they wanna chop off their ding-a-ling, they can do so. And it's perfectly normal. So I'm glad you can read the story for yourself. In California, they are now in the public schools teaching your children in kindergarten about sexual intercourse and about transsexuals. So California is right to do this, and I hope the rest of the states in this great union take note from California, and they teach your kids about gay sex, and they teach your kids about transsexual individuals, and they teach your kids how to pleasure an infant. That's coming to a kindergarten near you thanks to Lefto the Clown. And if I had things my way, I'd bring in the Drag Queen Story Hour and we'd all have a nice big orgy with all the infants and all the children and all the drag queens, and Lefto the Clown will be there to watch. What's this? High school's George Washington mural doesn't represent its values and should be removed. Well, my goodness. This is also coming out of California and San Francisco. You're telling me that George Washington is still allowed to exist in the curriculum of school in America? This I cannot stand for. Let me tell you something right now. If your school is teaching about George Washington, if your school mentions George Washington but isn't sexualizing the children, we need to shut that school down. There's something wrong with this country now. I just realized this. You have schools that are teaching children about George Washington. First of all, that needs to be eliminated immediately. You shouldn't be learning about George Washington. No, no, no. So I now make an announcement. Any school that teaches about George Washington should now be replacing any murals of George Washington with Lefto the Clown, in any curriculum that feature George Washington with how to sexually pleasure an infant. That's how we make that work. Now, no prison time for Bay Area McDonald's cashier who tried to drown newborn in toilet after giving birth. What? Who would ever suggest prison time for such an individual? This woman is a hero. This woman deserves a medal. I wish more parents would take after this lady and just drown their kids. I mean, these conservatives are complaining that we're sexualizing their children. Quit having children. What the hell's wrong with you? Don't blame Lefto the Clown because we want to teach your kids how to have sex. Quit having kids. All right, let's shift it. Let's shift gears here. Border Patrol record number of agents are contracting illness from illegals. Good. That's what they deserve. You deserve to get a disease if you want to have a border in this country. You deserve to have a disease if you work for ICE. You're a bad person. So I hope you get all these diseases. And I hope the rest of America gets these diseases too, so that they can learn the lesson of what happens when you try to have a border. And the good news is, for those good people out there that do get the measles or whatever it is from these beautiful diseased people we're bringing in, we're going to give you a shot. But you see, some of you conservatives, some of you religious types, think that you have an exemption from a vaccine. You think you're free? Lefto the Clown runs your life. Don't you know I'm bringing in all the diseased individuals so that I can forcefully give you a shot? You just don't get it yet, do you? These conservatives, these religious types, they think they're in control. They think they got freedom. Don't you know Lefto the Clown is in control now, you fools? You fools. This is what it's really going to be like for you, though. Agency to vaccinate workers before cleaning Brussels no-go transit station. So here's the deal. What's happening in Europe now? You can't even go to a transit station in Brussels. You can't even go to a transit station in Europe without getting a disease. So here's the deal. If you want to travel, if you want to leave your home, you better get your shot. You better get that shot. Otherwise, we're going to give you a nice dose of measles or whatever comes over that border, tuberculosis. It's all good. It's all part of the plan. Oh, yeah, it's all part of the plan, ladies and gentlemen. So you need to be thanking Lefto the Clown for giving you those vaccines. You ought to be thanking Lefto the Clown for opening the border. If I didn't open border and bring all the diseases in, you wouldn't be begging for a shot. So you're welcome. You're welcome. I gave you the reason to want that shot. So thank you. And I want to thank InfoWars, and I want to thank the crew for letting Lefto the Clown come on here and read the news and straighten out all this nonsense. Straighten out all this nonsense around here like having a border, having free speech, having a Second Amendment. That's clown stuff. Lefto the Clown is in control now. So let me tell you my next agenda before I let you go. We're going to keep the border open. We're going to bring in more deadly disease. We're going to bring in more gangsters. We're going to bring in more drugs, more guns. And you know what? You might die. But that's what you get for being an American. The other good news is, whatever disease comes across this country next, we're going to have the vaccine for it. So don't even worry what comes over the border. We got a shot for you, baby. Lefto the Clown's in control.
Brian in Pennsylvania, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, so real quickly, I own the Alexa Pure Pro because I love my neighbor, but I refuse to drink their heart medication.
Well water is some of the most polluted stuff in the country because you got glyphosate, you got all your neighbor's medications that they're putting into a septic tank. That then goes into the groundwater and you drink it. So absolutely, the number one thing anybody can do, and by the way, I forget to do this again, man. When I drink filtered water, when I take the supplements, my life's so much better. When I forget, because I'm not Mr. Freaking Health, I feel it. So yes, tell me about not wanting to drink your neighbor's heart medication.
Well, where I live, and I think this is the same story for most of the country, our water filtration is based on a reverse osmosis system that was constructed around the turn of the century, and I have zero faith in local reporting on the quality of the water, and so I do all that I can do, and I purchased my own filter.
Well, look at Flint, Michigan. Their water is full of lead, mercury, poisons, E. coli. The answer is, everyone, if you're drinking water, you should filter it. And then I'll never forget David Hogg goes, Alex Jones on C-SPAN, he goes, little anti-gun guy, he goes, he says the water has toxins and then he sells a water filter. Yeah, it's like saying your kids need vitamin C and then I sell vitamin C. Or Jones says we need to wear shoes when we walk in the snow. Then he advertises shoes. Yes, exactly. But see, in his little brain, where everything is a scam, he thinks I'm scamming people when it's a direct sale. We have the best gravity-fed systems. Alexa Pure and Pro Pure are apples and oranges, but they're both excellent. Everyone needs it. Everyone should filter their water. This is the smartest thing you can do. It doesn't mean occasionally you don't drink some iced tea at a restaurant, but you need to filter your water. Your skin is your biggest organ. You absorb it there. You need filters on your shower or your bath. Exactly. And then you look at what's in the water table. It's insane.